Hey guys, welcome to A Fistful of Dice. My name is Matt. It is a absolutely gorgeous day out here in the PNW, so I thought I'd go for a walk here on my lunch break. And I kind of had an idea for a video here, and the idea actually came from a comment that was left on my DM strengths and weaknesses video that I posted yesterday. I just walked through a spider web, and the comment it really caught my attention, and I can't remember who left the comment. I apologize, but he basically asked, you know, the type of game mastering that you are talking about, to me, is on the level of a professional work ethic. And essentially what he said was, would you ever consider accepting monetary compensation for you know, running a game? And you know, my answer right off the bat is absolutely not. I would never have my job be running games, because I would never feel right accepting money for something that I get just as much enjoyment out of as the players do, and something that I love so much. I don't think that it is a thing that is necessary to be compensated for. Now, and I said in this in the comment though, it would be different if I was if a game store sort of hired me on, not hired, but basically commissioned me to run a weekly game at their game store for customers. Now it's kind of different because I'm helping them make revenue and draw people to the store. I still probably wouldn't accept money though. I would you know, take store credit, you know, use the store credit for, you know, a couple booster packs of Magic cards every week, or save up some store credit for a new, you know, D&D book or something like that. But I would never accept monetary compensation. And the comment was basically asking, like, how do I, like, compensate my DM or GM? How do I, like, give them tips, basically? You know, what he was asking. What can I do to show my game master that I appreciate him or her? And so it got me thinking about appreciating your game master. Most of the people who are video producers in this little RPG community that we have going here, from what I've gleaned, most of them are game masters. Maybe not full-time game masters, but for the most part, the people who are producing videos and engaging in these conversations are people that run games, not just players. So I might just be preaching to the choir here, but it's still something that I've kind of been thinking about as somebody who plays and GMs a pretty equal amount. So, because most of us are game masters, we all understand how difficult it can be to run a game. How much concentration, coordination, time, effort, and energy has to be spent to make a single session happen. It's mentally taxing. It requires a lot of time if you're into prep. You're not only thinking about the motivations and feelings and worldviews of one person. You're thinking about every single creature, every single person that populates this world. And you're preparing maps, you're preparing minis, you're preparing props, handouts. You're doing everything in your power to ensure that your players are having the most fun, the most immersive experience that they can. It's a lot of work. And, you know, we do it because it's fun, because we enjoy it. Because from the moment you conceptualize your idea through preparing it to the last second of your session, as your game group is wrapping up, picking up their dice and character sheets and going home, we enjoy every moment of it. We really do. I know I do. So how do you compensate a game master for all of that work, all of that effort, all of that energy and passion and love that they put into this game that we all enjoy? You don't give them money. You don't tip them. You know, if your GM has a tip jar, he's probably a jerk. So how do you support and show your GM how much you can appreciate him or her? There are things you can do. You can offer to help with the things outside of the game. You can offer to bring food. You can offer to make dinner. You can offer to supply drinks and snacks, and you know, maybe other gaming peripherals. Maybe you're like, you know, I've got some maps and minis. I'll bring them this week. You know, don't worry about it. Or you know, I will print out the character sheets, or I will coordinate carpools with the other players and try to get everyone there on time. I will schedule the game. DM, tell me what days you're available, and I'll get everyone else's schedule and coordinate with them to make sure that we get a day that works for everybody. Or you can help with things that the DM has to keep track of in addition to everything else. Maybe you can offer to track initiative. Maybe you can offer to keep track of spell effects or durations. You know, maybe you can offer to, if you're using immersion enhancing things like music or sound effects or things like that, lighting, you know, offer to help with that. Offer to be in charge of that. There's many, many ways that you can show your GM that you appreciate him or her. And none of it should be monetary. It should be things that will help take some of the load off of your GM and also enhance the game at the same time. In addition to helping the guy out, helping your dungeon master or game master out, you're going to be contributing to the game in a new way that, you know, players wouldn't necessarily, you know, get to experience. You're going to be involved in the running of the game. Now, granted, some DMs and GMs would probably say, you know, no, don't track initiative, don't track spell durations, don't help out with any of that stuff because I prefer to do it on my own. And that's fine. You know, if that's their style, that's cool. You know, I can appreciate that. But you can still offer to help where you can. You know, my game table has a tendency to get messy and disorganized, and I always really appreciate it when people offer to take people's plates if we finished eating, or, you know, if a bag of chips is empty, you know, they'll take it and they'll throw it away, or you know, if some soda cans have accrued on the table, they'll take them and they'll go put them in the recycling bin. They'll crush them and put them in the recycling bin. You know, I've had players get up during a break and start doing the dishes in the sink. Things like this, you know, I really appreciate that because I'm sitting there focusing on the game, and it just shows, you know, hey, I appreciate what you're doing, you know, and everyone games at my apartment, so it also is, you know, respectful of my space, you know, my apartment, my willingness to, you know, let, you know, 6 or 7 people into my apartment for, you know, an entire Saturday. It really shows, you know, respect and appreciation, and I really do appreciate that, and I try to do that for when other people are GMing too. You know, my buddy Darren is our main game master right now. He's running, you know, Pathfinder game. I'm running Call of Cthulhu kind of on the side, and you know, his Pathfinder games, you know, I always try to get him set up and get it to where he can just kind of do his thing and get going. You know, I'll get the minis out for him, you know, ask him what maps he needs. We have a combat table. I'll get that all set up. I'll make sure the table is where it needs to be. I'll make sure we have an appropriate number of chairs. I'll make sure the whiteboard is within easy access so he can use it for notes. Things like this, just little things you can do to help your DM out and show them, hey, you know what? I appreciate what you're doing. I'm going to help you out here. You shouldn't have to do everything. And beyond all of that, beyond helping run the game, beyond doing these things, beyond providing food and snacks and drinks, beyond all of this, the best thing you can do is at the end of the session, look at your GM and DM and say, that was really fun, thank you. And for most of us, that's enough right there. So essentially, the gist of this video, tip your DMs.